And we expect to get 2 armor here, right? We only get 1. This doesn't make sense. Unlike Radovid, who works exactly like you'd expect with Uprising after reading his text, this doesn't make any sense. So this will go from 6 to 5, and will it give us 1 armor? No, it gives us 6 like Morkvarg Heart of Terror does. After seeing so many people exploiting the Onslaught bug, I wanted to make a video showing you the issue with it. Well, actually all the issues with it, because there's more than one. I've only tested it for a couple hours, so I may have missed something or may not be entirely correct, but this is what I found. If you disagree or know anything different about it, let me know in the comments. The relevant part of the ability here is whenever an enemy unit becomes damaged, give 1 armor to all pirates and ships in your hand. So we need to establish a baseline of interactions to show what's wrong and what's working and what isn't working. If you just want to see the issues, skip ahead to the timestamp I'll put here or chapters in the description. I think we can agree a unit becomes damaged when its power lowers to less than its base power. I checked all the cards that have text like that about damaged units like Junod, but in the game, but it isn't clarified like keywords are, so we'll just go with this definition because it makes the most sense. And becomes damaged is the issue here. So first we need to show how it should work and actually does work in most cases before we get into the big bugs and the issues they should fix. So here we'll damage this unit and we should get armor on the on-crate raiders. And we do. Now it's damaged, and hitting it again shouldn't give us more armor, so play Hershka and she'll damage it by 1. And as we can see here, as we would expect, it's already become damaged, so when we end our turn, we ding it by 1. We don't get more armor because it didn't become damaged. So, we take a look here, units don't become damaged when they hit armor, and again, it's not damaged, didn't become damaged when we hit the armor. That's true here too. So then another one we want to look at is when you kill a unit, it doesn't become damaged. It's in the graveyard, and when the card finishes its effect, and its power isn't lower than its base power, therefore it didn't become damaged, and no armor. So, looking this one, as we'd expect here, if we take damage from bleeding, or he takes damage from bleeding, it should give us an armor because the unit becomes damaged, and we can see that's exactly what happens. Here we tested Rupture because Rupture is unique, but it works as it should. It damages the unit, becomes damaged, gives us 1 armor. And then if we look at this, when we hit multiple units, we'd expect that for each that became damaged by its power becoming lower than its base power, we should gain an armor, and we do. We gain 3 armor, 1 for each unit. That makes perfect sense. That worked in pretty much all of my testing for these type of cards. And here's another example. Dragon's Dream also seems to work, so we should get armor for the one becoming damaged and not the one that dies. We should get 1 armor on our Trigger here. Let's play a card. So we should get 1 armor here, and this actually does work as we'd expect. Go from 1 to 2. Now Wild Boar, this is a bit different in its actual text, but it works the same. We're going to damage the damaged units by 1. They're already damaged, so they don't become damaged. No armor. Then we damage the Grimace tier by 1. He should become damaged, and the result of this is we should gain 1 armor. If we take a look, that is exactly what happens. We gained 1 armor. Now, we're going to look to boost this elf back to its base power here. And if we damage it again, it should become damaged again, and we get 1 more armor. So if we're going to do that, he's going to play a card. We expect to get 1 armor here, and we're obviously not going to be boosting your opponent's units, but if it does become boosted or heals, we can see we gain an armor from that, as we should. Same thing with the reset here. We'll play as Spores, we reset this, and then if we damage it again, we will gain an armor. Nothing surprising. We know cards finish their effect before other cards work, so we expect this Marindrome to damage then boost, and the game will check and see the unit became damaged, and not see the unit became damaged, so no armor. That makes sense with how we know the game works for stuff like Marindrome. So then the question is, where's the issue? It's in cards like this. I'm gonna call these multi-instance damage cards Hemdall here. They do damage multiple times and not all at once. So you can see here we gained 2 armor, but that's not always going to happen. It depends on the situation. What we expect to happen here is we're going to gain 2 armor because these 2 units become damaged. Now we're going to play this guy, and we expect to get 2 armor here, right? We only get 1. This doesn't make sense. So I want to check it again. I did a bunch of testing with this. This time we'll use Delirium. What's going to happen is we're going to kill damage unit by 1 and another one by 2. We're only going to get 1 armor though. What I think is happening is game isn't recognizing a unit that went from its base power to 1 lower, then was hit again as becoming damaged. You can see that Grandmaster will go from 6 to 5 and then 5 to 4. We saw Hemdall's multi-instance damage work previously when each ping lowered units to 1 less than their base power, and I think this is where the issue is. Here we can see the pings lower the unit to 1 less than its base power, and we correctly gained an armor for that. That makes sense. That's what should happen, but it doesn't always work that way. And here again, one of the units is going to be hit once, and then one's going to be hit once, and then again. I think when the game checks for becoming damaged after the ability finishes, it doesn't see that became damaged, and then was damaged again. I think that's what's messing it up. So here, Hershka, we can see, works the same way. And this is pretty annoying, and hopefully they fix it, but this isn't all, and there are actually bigger issues that I actually want to talk about. I just wanted to show this as well. So, here the Delirium gives us 2 armor, even though 1 unit became damaged and 1 dies. We showed before killed units shouldn't give armor, but we actually gained an armor for the killed unit here. I'm not sure what's going on. Comment if you know about this one. This interaction was too RNG for me to spend a lot of time on setting up, and that's CDPR's job, not mine. I just wanted to show this in here. As far as the multi-instance damage cards go, from what I've found, they only give armor if the unit becomes damaged, is lowered to 1 less than its base power, which I hope they fix. So like you can see this Hemdall here. That gives us armor, but we don't want to rely on that RNG. To me, there is a much bigger issue here, and that is going to be Morkvarg. Unlike Radovid, who works exactly like you'd expect with Uprising after reading his text, this doesn't make any sense. And I hope it's in the hotfix too. I'm running into a ton of people doing this and telling me it's intended, and it clearly isn't. This is a bug you're exploiting. Any deck that boosts are using a stratagem that boosts will probably have this used against them, and I hope it's fixed soon. Because this is really problematic for people who don't like going up against like Croc with 10 armor, or all the pirates having 10 armor, and my issue isn't that it's strong. My issue is that it's clearly not how it's supposed to work, and a bunch of people are exploiting this to get a bunch of armor pirates, just like this. This is why I'm doing it in the training area, because I don't want to exploit this against people. Now, something else they need to fix that's less annoying to me, but it's still a problem, is Giga Scorpion Decoction. If you look here, we do 1 damage 6 times. The unit became damaged, we don't gain any armor from it. I think this is like the other multi-instance damage cards where it went below, it passed the threshold of below 1 less than base power when at the end of the effect and didn't see it, but it should still go armor. So then what happens if we damage a unit just to that threshold of 1 less than base power? Will the game recognize that a unit became damaged? And then this will go from 6 to 5, and will it give us 1 armor? No, it gives us 6 like Morkvarg Heart of Terror does. Fantastic. I love it. I hope they fix this too, because this is a problem. So, all these issues are the ones I found with Onslaught. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you found this interesting or helpful. And I'll be holding off on making my own pirate deck until they fix this, because I don't want to be a bug exploiter. But you guys should all be aware of the things that are going on and problematic with this leader. And if you boost or have something that boosts or play a strategy that boosts, you'll probably see someone do this on you. And I'm not surprised. It's a big rework to the Onslaught ability, and I expected there'd be issues with it. I just hope they are pretty fast in fixing them. And hopefully you don't get abused too much by this. It's interesting to be sure, but not intended. And it'll be fixed pretty soon, I hope. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time.